And our big focus this hour, carrying out new constituencies while redrawing several of those existing. The Delimitation Commission has proposed significant changes to the electoral map of J&K. The draft delimitation working paper, the second set of proposals shared by the Commission with 5 associate members, has been rejected by the NC, which said it will send a detailed response to the Commission at the earliest. The Commission has sought the views of the associate members and will then place the report in the public domain. In the draft paper, the Commission has proposed changes in Baramulla, Kupwara, Srinagar, Kulgam and Anantnag in Kashmir division. While Kupwara is the only district in the valley where a constituency is being added, changes have been proposed to other existing constituencies as well. The new seat of Tregam has been created to include Kiran, parts of Kralpura, Tehsil amongst others. In Baramulla, while the assembly polls segments remain at 5, Kunzar and Tangmar constituencies have been carved out by splitting Gulmarg and merging the Sangrama constituency. The report has also proposed redrawing of the Anantnag parliamentary seat by including Rajouri and Poonch from Jammu. Many of the assembly seats in erstwhile J&K state have vanished that include Haba Kadal, a seat that was seen as a traditional bastion of migrant Kashmiri Pandits. Joining us at this point is Javed Beg, political analyst. We also have Abhijit Jasrotia, BJP spokesperson, J&K. Ashwani Handa, Congress leader, Jammu Kashmir, is joining us live. Suren Singh Bunti, provincial vice president and NC spokesperson, is also with us live on the broadcast. Welcome to all of you and thank you for being with us. Suren Singh Bunti, let me begin with you first. How is the NC viewing these changes? We had seen objection by Farooq Abdullah earlier, but do you welcome this delimitation report now finally?
First of all, I may correct you, my name is Surinder Singh Bunti, not Bunti. So, finally the draft which has come out in the press today. So, the statement from our President Dr. Farooq Abdullah has come out last night. He has categorically said there is no political, administrative and social logic that justifies these recommendations. Because if you see, when we talk about the craving of the new seat, which is being called as Anantnag Rajouri seat, I may clear you one thing, that Rajouri and Poonch, both districts belong to Jammu division. Right from the inception of this Jammu and Kashmir state, Rajouri and Poonch districts are part of Jammu province. So administratively, they are part of Jammu division. So they are being controlled and they are being administered by Jammu division, Jammu province administration. So this craving of a new seat, which includes some parts of the South Kashmir, including Anantnag, and some part of Rajouri and Poonch, which belong to Jammu, as I said, that makes no sense because administratively, they belong to Jammu region. They belong to Jammu division, which we call Jammu province. So they come under the provision of, come under the jurisdiction of Divisional Commissioner Jammu. So from administrative point of view, they also belong to Jammu region. So craving of a new seat, having 1 or 2 districts from Kashmir, South Kashmir, and 2 districts of Jammu, that is beyond the imagination of anybody from Jammu and Kashmir, and that makes no sense. So nobody had even expected that such a step would be taken, and that is beyond understanding, our understanding at least. So as far as the creation of the new seats are concerned, the National Conference has categorically said that these craving of new seats and increase 7 seats which were increased in Jammu and 3 in Jammu, 6 and 3 in Kashmir, that are basically politically motivated. They are basically aimed to divide Jammu and Kashmir on regional and communal lines, which has been always on the top agenda of the BJP. So somehow this clearly
signifies... But Surinder, first your NC leaders reportedly accepted it in the Delimitation Commission meeting. Then they came out and objected to it. So many are saying this is a dual stand. Because Surinder, at the end of the day, of course, the Jammu seats are increasing, but so is the Kashmir demographic. So are the seats in Kashmir region.
See, if we see the census of 2011, which is the basis of this delimitation, the population of Kashmir division is 15 lakhs more than the Jammu division. So only as per the statements of BJP leaders, only population is not the criteria. If they are saying, they are claiming that the region, terrain, mountains, whatever it is. So in order to settle a score with the Kashmiri people, this is another attempt to isolate Kashmir region from Jammu and isolate Kashmir region from rest part of the country. So whenever there is a delimitation commission, whenever there is a delimitation, it has to bring people at par. It has to bring power more close to the people, not taking one region on the upper side and bringing other on the downside. That clearly is politically motivated, that to some extent justifies and to some extent that you can say that is part of the BJP's communal agenda, which is aimed at dividing people on communal lines, even people in Jammu region, dividing people on regional lines, like we have Pahadis, we have Gujars, we have SC, ST and other communities. So it is basically aimed at targeting the ethnicity of the people. So it will definitely create a problem with the understanding of the people and the secular fabric of the state.
Abhijit Jasrotia respond. Abhijit Jasrotia respond. The Delimitation Commission making these new recommendations, it's been welcomed by many, but NC very upset, as you just heard. Abhijit, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. Am I audible? Hello? Yeah.
Yes.
On such set of remarks which are given by the NC spokesperson over here and other, I will say these are obnoxious remarks, and moreover, he was sounding that much more filibuster things was coming out of him. The practical things on the ground is this, that after that 5th August 2019, what was promised to the people of Jammu and Kashmir was a new Jammu and Kashmir, and the apathy with the regions of Jammu and Kashmir both was taken care. That is why this Delimitation Commission was framed, and when this Delimitation Commission was framed, a tiresome exercise of more than 1 year was done. People of Kashmir were taken into confidence, people of Jammu were taken into confidence, everybody from all walks of the society, from all religions, from every party, they were all taken into confidence before giving this report. Now, what has came out of this report, you can see there is Kupwara, one place which was having apathy of 60, 70 years, one seat was added over there. In Jammu, many areas, because Jammu has always suffered right from 1951. When we were 20 lakhs and they were hardly 18 lakhs, at that time this thing was in injustice was done with the people of Jammu rather. Now the justice is done. Now you see one thing, the base of Kashmir is much is more than what of Jammu. If one seat is added to their base, that means one is good enough for them. And in Jammu already injustice was there, so some 6 seats were added over here also. So this shows that the justice is done with both the places. Now when they are talking, how can you when they are talking about some religion or all this, I don't think that from where religion comes into all these things. Because you can see there are 3 seats of member parliament in Kashmir and 2 in Jammu. Now by realigning the seat of Anantnag, somewhere 2.5 will go to Kashmir and 2.5 will come to Jammu. So this is justified. Everything is justified over there. I don't know why they are raising such a hue and cry over this. And last night only there was a statement from a leader of Congress also, Mr. Tariq Hamid Kara. He was saying this thing that how can Kashmir merge with Jammu? I mean, why this Jammu and Kashmir divide is there? Why not we talk about one India and a great India? And when we are talking about this thing, this is a apathy with all the regions which is now taken care. And what is bothering this national conference? Let me tell one thing categorically to everyone. The thing which is bothering national conference is 9 seats of scheduled tribes. Because scheduled tribes from past 50 years, they have taken on their right. They have taken their vote. It was a patent vote of national conference. Now scheduled tribes have got their political freedom. Now they can have their political leaders. That is what is bothering this national conference people. That is why they are raising their eyebrows on the Delimitation Commission, which is such a judicious commission and a constitutionally framed body. How can they talk against this Delimitation Commission? That is really out of the box, whatever they are talking now.
Javed Beg, how do you react to this political war now that has erupted, or was this to be expected? You know, at the end of the day, it's a neutral Delimitation Commission which is making these recommendations, but there's a political war which has erupted. Was this to be expected? Javed, you're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. The recommendations made by Delimitation Commission are partly welcome. There are few things to be taken care of. Blunder which National Conference did in 1996 the delimitation they carried out was actually politically motivated, and now they have again started that melodrama, which is not, digested by the masses in Kashmir. People know what National Conference has done. Yes, I agree to some parts of what my friend Thakur Saab said. 3 seats were parliamentary seats were kept for Kashmir province, and only 2 seats for Jammu division. So this was actually sending a kind of message that Kashmir has always had lion's share, which was not in the larger interest of the Jammu and Kashmir as a state or union territory. So if Poonch and Rajouri has been added to the parliamentary segment of South Kashmir, should not be seen as something negative done to Kashmir. No, I personally feel it's all right. But few parts of Central Kashmir has been added to North Kashmir is somehow looking unnatural, because North Kashmir parliamentary segment was comprising of 3 districts. Again, few constituencies, assembly constituencies has been added from Central Kashmir, District Badgam. Some parts of District Badgam were kept with Central Kashmir's Srinagar, Ganderbal, and now Pulwama and few parts of Shupaya has been added. This looks unnatural because the area is vast. If somebody from Birwa segment of Central Kashmir's Badgam district has to meet his honorable parliament member, he has to travel more than 150 kilometers. So these parts has to be taken care of by the Delimitation Commission panel. Apart from that, assembly segments are okay. It has been redrawn and reframed. I belong to Central Kashmir's Birwa constituency, which was, the delimitation carried into 1996 was unnatural. Some parts of Birwa Tehsil were kept with Khan Sahab constituency, which was again unnatural. It was politically motivated to actually help and support one person. Whole district was brought to chaos in 1996 to help few candidates of National Conference. The mistakes and rather blunders of National Conference are, corrected by this dispensation is a welcome step. But people of Kashmir are feeling bias because 6 constituencies given to Jammu, only 1 constituency, that too given to Kupwara. Fair enough, Kupwara deserves 1 constituency, but few more constituencies would have done, I think, justice with the people of Kashmir province. Few people from these political parties, they have again started creating mountain out of molehill, will not be bought by the masses in Kashmir. We welcome this recommendation by Delimitation Commission. I personally feel people of Central Kashmir's District Badgam were heard. I personally met the members of Delimitation Commission. Whatever suggestions we put forward were heard. I feel very happy. As a Kashmiri, as somebody from Jammu and Kashmir, as an Indian, I feel heard. People of Kashmir, masses of Kashmir, they also feel heard. Not many people are raising objections apart from these political parties.
Yes. Ashwani Handa, come in here. Ashwani Handa, what is the Congress's position on the new recommendations? Are you in favor of them? Are you against them? Do you believe they need to be studied in further detail? Ashwani Handa.
He is muted.
Ashwani, I think you're on mute.
Now audible?
Yes.
डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन का जो ये डिसीजन आया है, ये पूरी तरह से पॉलिटिकल मोटिवेटेड है. हम पहले ही कहते थे कि ये जो राय होनी चाहिए, ये लोगों की सहमति से होनी चाहिए और लोगों द्वारा ही डिलिमिटेशन चुनावों के बाद होना चाहिए. इसीलिए हम कहते थे कि ये ब्यूरोक्रेसी का फैसला है जो लोगों को कबूल नहीं है. जिस तरीके से जम्मू डिवीजन को काटकर कश्मीर के साथ मिलाना बहुत बड़ी ज्यादती है उन लोगों के साथ जो लोग अब राजौरी पुंछ के लोग अनंतनाग से मिलाना, जिसमें जिस ट्रैक से 6-6 महीने बर्फ पड़ी रहती है और वो रास्ता बिल्कुल बंद हो जाता है। इस तरह की कार्रवाई बिल्कुल गलत है। हम इसके फेवर में नहीं है। और जिस तरीके से जम्मू डिवीजन को डिग्रेड किया गया है, और ये पॉलिटिकल मोटिवेटेड है पूरी तरह से, क्योंकि 25 सीटें जो हैं वो बीजेपी की आई थी पिछले सेगमेंट में जो चुनाव हुए थे, और वो 25 लोग जीत के आए थे। अब इनको लगता है कि हम इसको अगर हम कम्युनल लाइन पे डिवाइड करेंगे तो बीजेपी को इसमें फायदा हो सकता है। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य यह है कि आम लोगों की आवाज को नहीं सुना जा रहा है, और आम लोगों की जो मुश्किलात हैं, जो उनकी रिजेंटमेंट्स हैं, उनको नहीं देखा जा रहा है। सरकार की यही सबसे बड़ी जो है वो गलती है। सॉरी, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी जी बोलिए।
तो ये चीज है कि मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि ये 7 सीट जो राजौरी पुंछ के हमारी जो राज्यसभा की सीटें थी, वो एक पार्लियामेंट्री सीट में उसको जो है डाइवर्ट किया गया है। ये उन लोगों की ख्वाहिशात के ऊपर सरासर जो है वो गलत है। हम इसकी मरम्मत करते हैं और डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन को एक बार फिर सोचने पे कहेंगे कि एक बार फिर से सोचा जाए कि इस तरीके की कार्रवाई ना की जाए जिससे लोगों के मसाइल को हल करने में मुश्किलात आ और लोगों में डिवीजन बढ़े कानून लाइन पर। हमारी इससे अलावा जो SC ST कैटेगरी है उसमें भी जो है वो सीटें जो पहले रिजर्व थी उनको ताउम्र के लिए रिजर्व कर दिया गया है, जो कि बहुत गलत है। अगर आपने कुछ समय के लिए एक सीट को रिजर्व किया था तो उसको खोल के दूसरी किसी उन हिस्से के लोगों को वो नुमाइंदगी मिलनी चाहिए थी जो नहीं मिली है। उसके साथ साथ उसके साथ साथ जिस तरीके से आप देखा जा रहा है कि ये पूरा का पूरा पोलराइजेशन है, कम्युनलाइजेशन है, जिससे ये साफ जाहिर होता है कि ये बीजेपी को सपोर्ट करता है। हम इस कार्रवाई की निंदा करते हैं और डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन को रिजेक्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि डिलिमिटेशन ने जो वहां की आप समझ ले कि बर्फबारी होती है जिस समय पे ये लोग गर्म और सर्द ऋतु में हम चेंज करते थे राजधानी, अब वो पार्लियामेंटेरियन के पास कब जाएंगे जब वो एरिया 6 महीने के लिए बंद रहेगा। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इसको कश्मीर के साथ जम्मू का हिस्सा जो है, डिवीजन का हिस्सा कश्मीर से जोड़ने के
अभिजीत जवाब दे रहे हैं। अश्वनी बनी रहिए आप हमारे संग। अभिजीत रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू यू।
Yeah, see who is talking about this injustice. I'll tell you, there is a GAD order 1164 of 29/11/1996, I think. This was basically a state autonomy committee which they prepared at that time, and it was headed by a very senior leader of Congress. So what was the recommendation of the state autonomy committee? The recommendation was to abrogate Article 330 to 330 to 340. And these all articles were pertaining to reservation in Indian Constitution. They were pertaining to the reservation for SCs and STs. So this was how these people were planning to damage SCs and STs at that time. Now they are talking about justice. This is you can very well understand that such sort of bizarre statement can be expected from the spokesperson of Congress only, because what they have done with the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Where is Kashmiri Pandit's reservations?
Everybody knows very well.
Mr. Jasrotia, tell me, where is the Kashmiri Pandit? Where is the Pak refugees? Where are the community reservations? Where are our Gorkha?
You don't know about anything. You just try to raise your voice. Let me finish my point in case if you have anything to say against it, you can say it after me. But first listen to me let me complete my statement. Now when it comes to all these things, what's the basically reason of this delimitation commission justifying their report? They are justifying their report by this only, because that half of the parliamentary constituencies are divided between Jammu and Kashmir. Now Congress have played their card upon the war in between Jammu and Kashmir. They have always placed Jammu against Kashmir and Kashmir against Jammu, Hindu against Muslim and Muslim against Hindu. Now Hindus are also getting the right, Muslims are getting their right, STs are getting their right, STs are getting that. I don't know why it is bothering Congress, because the basic Congress, the fund of Congress is only to divide people on communal lines. No one is trying to unite people. We are trying to unite Jammu and Kashmir. I don't know why it is bothering these people. They should come.
I want to reply, Mr. Jasrotia. I want to reply, Mr. Jasrotia.
Whether they want to stand with the people of Jammu and Kashmir, whether they want to stand with Hindus or Muslims, still they are going to play their petty politics of past 50 years, in which they have divided the people on communal lines, on the line of the language, on the line of this area. And when we talk about a greater India, of a better India, the best India. We don't talk about separate Jammu, separate Kashmir. Why should we talk about separate Jammu and Kashmir? Jammu and Kashmir is one constituency. And one more thing which he was talking, that the road link in between Kashmir and Poonch is not there for 6 months. Let me tell him one thing, it's hardly 1 month. And now new tunnels are coming.
Yeah, it's a very fake statement. This is very wrong statement. Minimum 6 months will be district with other parts of
I
J&K.
don't know which part of Jammu and Kashmir you live. Let me complete my statement first of all. No, I don't think you should meddle in between. Now the best thing.
मिस्टर जसरोटिया ये बताएं जिस कश्मीरियों जिन कश्मीरी पंडितों के नाम पर आपने दिल्ली के अंदर सत्ता बनाई वो 6 लाख की तादाद के हैं, वो कहां पे है, उनकी रिजर्वेशन कहां है? मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूं, हमारे सिख भाई है जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर, उनकी रिजर्वेशन कहां है? उनको उनकी सोसाइटी को कब रिप्रेजेंटेशन मिलेगी?
Surendra Singh Bhutti also responding to you. Surendra Singh.
They don't even know iota.
Surendra ji.
Is there any reservation on the basis of your community? Is there any reservation like that? How can
Surendra Singh.
We don't know what he's talking.
This is very astonishing. This is
Mr. Jasrotia, you have only fake propaganda. Otherwise, you have nothing in.
Mr. Handa, let me reply. This is very unfortunate.
My question is, where is 6 lakh Kashmiri Pandits?
Let's hear out Surendra now. Ashwani, you had your say. Let's hear out Surendra Singh. Surendra now. Surendra's turn now. Hold on. You all had your say. Let's listen to the others one at a time. Surendra Singh, let's please, gentlemen, let's have some decency today. Let's not shout. Today we've lost an icon, a Bharat Ratna in Lata Mangeshkar ji. The nation is in a very somber mood today. Let's not fight amongst ourselves. Let's have a civilized debate. The final journey is happening as we speak in Mumbai. We'll be playing that out in a bit, but let's not fight. Surendra ji.
I'm really very upset, and really it is very astonishing that the spokesperson of a party which is worldwide known for communal divide, ethnic divide, regional divide, and the most casteist party in the history of India, is saying that the people and the other parties in Jammu and Kashmir, they have divided people on regional and communal lines. BJP is known for its deeds, what they have been doing and what they are doing exactly in the entire country, that is known to everybody. There is no need to elaborate. Number one. Number two, Mr. Jasrotia has said that we have given equal representation to everyone, and where is the question of Jammu and Kashmir? So I must remind him that for the last 40 years, BJP have been beating its chest for the cause of Jammu. During the 2014 elections, what they did, they made a slogan Mission 40 to form a chief minister from Jammu to settle score with the Kashmiris. What they had appealed to the people to vote for them on communal lines and on regional lines. Now, when it came to perform, it is the only BJP under whose rule the Jammu region has suffered the most. Jammu has not suffered in the last 70 years what Jammu people have suffered during the regime of last government. Even today, when BJP is ruling through governor rule, the bureaucracy is so dominating that nothing is being done in Jammu, and the people of Jammu are still suffering. People in Kashmir are still suffering. And now, when they have realized, then the 25 MLAs elected by the people of Jammu and who voted for BJP, they have did nothing. All their ex-ministers, all their ex-MLAs, their names have come in land grabbing, in corrupt practices, and even land encroachment and making big bungalows in army areas, and their cases are still pending despite the contempt notices by the Supreme Court. Their ex-former deputy chief minister has made a house in the army area. So now being exposed, this is another attempt to divert the attention of the people and to push people to fight on the name of the regionalism. I must point out one thing, that since Jammu and Kashmir is a multi-ethnic society, multi-linguistic society, there are Dogras in Jammu, there are Kashmiris in Kashmir, even in Jammu, there are Pahadis, there are Kashmiri Pandits, there are Gujars. In the name of ST, they have given ST status to Gujars and reserved 6 seats for the ST people. So I must point out one thing.
Okay.
That is very important point.
Yes.
That seven constituencies in Rajouri and Poonch Out of them, 5 have been reserved
Okay,
for
okay.
S.
We'll continue to track this. I have to take a break. I have to take a break. We've run out of time. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. Let's take a break.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.